So upcoming in just beside Lakeside MRT, there's going to be a new launch called Lucerne Grand. And I think many of the people who are looking at the west side or like the west side, right, will of course hear of this new launch because it's just directly beside the MRT.
I think for the west people, this one will be really the one they're looking at lah. Because in terms of location,
it's highly anticipated.
Correct. If you are talking the recently west side new launch, right, there will be the East Tengah, all these are not all the non-proven area lah in the way in terms of transaction. Right now, this Lucerne Grand, right, is right smack in a cluster of a lot of condo. And there's old condo, there's new condo, there is HDB, there's a community, and there's school. So everyone will think that this might be something that a good buy.
Correct. I think a lot of people are also waiting to see what are the prices right? Because they all in their mind, any condo that beside MRT, definitely we will think that the developer won't price it so cheap right?
So the question is today, is it really the best new launch in the West?
Let's dive in.
So a bit of the disclaimer again, everything we share is based on our own opinion and our own research. If you want to do it yourself, please do your due diligence and do your own research. Let's go. So why is everyone talking about Lucerne? Just now Dylan has shared, right, that it's beside MRT. So every time there is a project or new launch beside MRT, it will create a hype because everyone wants to stay beside a
MRT.
Correct.
So of course the draw besides just MRT of course MRT is one of the biggest draw There's also the lake, the Jurong Lake, the Jurong Lake Gardens, which is something that is all the families would love all the park and all that kind of thing.
And usually new launches that is not near the MRT tends to be harder to move in terms of sales. Because a lot of buyers, when we want to buy a development, we will envision ourselves to really stay in there. Then even if we want to buy for investment, then we'll say, next time if my resale, when my future buyer buy, right, will they want to stay there or not? If I feel that it's so far and so ulu, right, I might not consider also. So why should I buy there? And one thing about that lakeside, right, you all hear about the Jurong transformation and the Jurong Lake District, everything. So government is putting a lot of effort in the area
I mean they want to establish this as the second CBD So this is something that the government is really looking at.
Correct.
Yes.
And of course, these schools there are quite a number of schools in the area that this one hits. Because we know, right, for Lake Garden and Sora, right, school was one of the concern.
Correct. Not really within the
one school. This one, there is a few. So that's why parents will want to buy something because people who like West will like to stay at West. But there are three questions that you always need to ask or we must answer this time round as a buyer for Lucerne Grand. Because we have a customer that stays around the area like Caspian, Lake Grande, all this, right? That's near the MRT track. Number one concern will be always the
noise.
Correct.
Because definitely if you stay near MRT, especially those MRT that is above ground definitely there's noise You cannot escape from it.
If I have went viewing in one of the condo around, right, where it's just beside the MRT, right? One thing, the noise I can still accept. It's the vibration. I can feel the vibration. When he go fast, right, then I can feel the vibration also. So this is something that some of the buyers or resale buyer will take note of. I cannot accept.
At the end day, of course, there are some buyers that can live with the noise, but there are some buyers that totally, I will not ever buy something with noise because I'm really very noise sensitive. So this is something that we will also address later in the video and how does it really affect you.
This will also depends on the premium. Later we will discuss, right? Which premium are we, what's the benchmark of the premium that we can accept? Correct. In the area. This is something that I think is very important. So that of course the second one will be the lake view because Lucerne will, based on the site map, right? Later we'll show you. There is again one site that is facing the Jurong Lake. Then of course that one will be premium This premium is justifiable. Later we also will go through.
Yes.
And the last one is for me, I feel is the most important. Because it's affordability and future demand. What is this? Just a lot of words. One means that next time who buy from us?
Correct.
If you buy today, next time who buy from us?
I think this is the number one question actually. We will go through everything So for the first concern, MRT noise. So I think this one is a very valid concern. Okay. Of course, MRT, right, we will use Caspian as a case study. Why? Because Caspian is also just directly beside the track. It's also near the MRT as well. So it's just beside the track and there are a lot, quite a number, one whole row, right, of units that are facing the track directly. So this is a very good example lah.
Yeah, we just use it as a case study.
Case study, yeah.
Today, MRT facing and choir facing. So, in terms of resale, right, usually people tends to want the choir facing first for resale.
Yes, correct.
Logical, right?
Yeah,
but when it comes to buy resale, right, they will see both. Because why? Price coming into the picture already, man. Today, if I got MRT noise, or maybe I'm facing not so good view, all these things, the not so good facing versus a very good view, pool facing, choir facing, right? What's the gap in terms of pricing?
Yeah.
If the gap is too big, sometimes people will just pay less to accept the not so good facing.
Yeah.
Less appeal. This is something that we sometimes address, like so some development, right? We want to take the entrance facing. Because the entrance facing, right, is cheaper, number one, but the layout is superior than the pool view because pool view is compact. I think it's the, if I'm not wrong, a case study we have is the high park one. We take for the entrance facing it's a bigger size, but same price as the pool facing. But the pool facing is a smaller, it's a 3-bedroom compact.
Yeah.
And without and the one will have extra yard or extra storeroom or something like. So definitely in terms of resale, right, people will compare. Why would I want to pay a pool to have lesser space? Correct. Then after they stand there at the resale, right, they think the car come in the entrance, maybe not so bad.
Yeah lah. I mean, at the end of the day, of course, definitely if can, we want the pool view. But some buyers also in their mind, I mean, we do a lot of resale, like they will go and say, the pool, how often do I stand at the balcony and then I watch the pool? Not very often.
Main thing is resale is very emotional, but of course we cannot be. I like it, but in the end of the day, the price still doesn't make sense. People will take a step back on the emotion. That's what I want to say lah. Okay. So a bit of where is Caspian? Caspian is this here lah. So that this you must one thing I want you to see is this block 60. Okay. When Caspian is launched this one is the premium view. Later, but one thing happened is this lakefront. Suddenly the premium view become block already.
Yeah, and it's totally blocked.
Yeah.
It's like they put the block directly just up like that.
Yeah. This is where is Lucerne Grand. It's just beside MRT. So that's why we're going to use Caspian as an example. Let you see. So today at the launch, Caspian MRT facing. The average for a 2-bed, we use this part, the facing one, they are average about 614 per square foot. And the choir were a bit slightly more expensive. There was a 4.4% premium that was placed on the quieter face because developer know people also want to have to say we know that developer wants to load premium in the more preferred places because they know people will still pay for the premium.
Correct.
There was a 4.4% premium during launch, but this is not the most important. Later we'll share with you. Then what happened comes to resale? Because resale very different, right? Because the price point of the launch is developer set one. It's a strategy. Yeah. But when it comes to resale, it's the buyer who really accept the price.
Yeah, it's the buyer acceptance.
If the buyer don't accept the price, right, then nobody buy. There's no transaction.
Correct.
That's why they say willing seller, willing buyer.
Yeah.
There's no willing buyer, then seller have to do what? Have to lower the price.
Yeah, so it's very important, right? Whenever we actually buy something, let's say you plan to sell in the future, always think of who is going to buy from me, and then it will help you in your numbers. Cause you can actually analyze what the gap all these things which
So you can see from the MRT facing, right, based on the per square foot, right, there was even the quieter facing actually have a more increase more in terms of premium. People still tend to pay higher than the MRT. So which means what? MRT quite bad.
Yeah, it means the noise really
plays a part in terms of the appeal.
Yeah.
So people tend to really want to pay a bit more, still can accept. Okay, so now this is the most important part. Because just now we saw the launch is 4.4%, right? Then based on this, we see MRT facing profit actually make lesser than the quieter. The quiet one actually make more. So in this area, maybe we want to pay a bit of the premium for the quieter facing. Because based on the acceptance, right, people in this area will prefer quieter facing and willing to pay a bit more. Yeah. But that's not the important part. Is this 5.5% gap in terms of what is this 5.5% gap?
I think this 5.5% gap, right, is actually to understand how much the buyers today are willing to pay for that non-MRT, for the quieter facing. So if we understand how much they are willing to pay that 5.5%, right? If let's say we were to use this 5.5% and use it on Lucerne Grand, we can maybe try and determine, let's say today, if Lucerne Grand the premium, let's say the pool facing compared to the MRT facing, right? The gap is, let's say 10%. Then you know that 10% is the gap is too huge already. So if I'm a so-called looking more of an investment point of view, I would definitely go for the MRT facing because the gap is too huge.
Yeah, but today if the pool view or the quiet view, right, is below 5.5%, right, then just
still the quieter facing because there is definitely still a gap one.
So we use this as a benchmark.
Yeah.
But one thing just now in the introduction we always say when it comes to resale, right, you are the one staying You must ask yourself whether you can take the MRT. So I give an example. Today, let's say if the MRT gap, right, is 10% between the pool facing, right, then you say I cannot tahan noise one. I will very jialat. But you ask me for opinion, I will still ask you to go for the MRT one in terms of investment point of view.
Yeah.
Because in terms of resale, you're much safer buying the MRT facing.
Yeah.
But today, if the gap is about 5 to 7%, maybe a 2% premium, maybe you will pay because you are one staying maybe a bit of premium, you earn lesser.
I mean, own stay you still can accept maybe 5 to 7 still can accept because it's really something you need to live with
Correct.
For the, I don't know how long you're going to stay maybe 10 years or even 20 years.
Correct.
So this is something that you can still accept. But if you ask us, right, because every time with our clients, right, we look at the numbers right, we try not to be too emotional. You ask me, definitely anything above 5.5, right, if it's not really, you're not going to plan to stay for long, I would suggest we go for something that is non-MRT facing.
So this will really depend on
case by case.
An individual. Because some people say, I don't care, I want to buy the in terms of the potential value, I want to be the safest, then of course we will take the 10% gap.
Yeah.
Yes. So the key takeaway from buying a property, right, is always, of course, location.
Yeah.
Then after that, right, next we must understand each project or each area got different attributes, different profile. Like Daniel got different profile.
Yeah.
We shared during the last video. Tengah also got OCR got OCR profile, CCR got CCR profile. So different buyers got areas, right, will have different profiles of buyers.
Correct. And of course, we know that Lucerne Grand is technically, as a location-wise, it's a no-brainer because it's got everything, the community, everything all there. So location, we don't need to touch so much on it. But the key thing is, what we are touching on mostly, right, is actually the site plan, the facing and all this. Because I think the factor will come in is more on
I think for Lucerne Grand will play a bit because this is something that is beside MRT.
So this is definitely a huge thing.
So now where we know that MRT is actually not so preferred, right? The question is, does this very low, less appeal facing, right, drag the whole development down? So because we have some case study like some 3 location we took out like Commonwealth Tower, Park Esta, Resale Park. All this that is facing MRT one.
But actually, why we talk about this also, right, is because today, example, if let's say you buy an MRT facing the track, then the noise is really every day, the vibration and all these things, right? And let's say, example, you want to sell. So when you try to sell, then the viewers come and then they hear the noise, everything, then no one want to buy, let's say for own stay. Then at the end, what happened? You need to sell lower. So when this facing MRT start to sell lower, right, our question that we have in our mind is that, will it actually pull down the development
pricing
average? Yeah, that is the very important question to ask because it will affect. So if let's say it does pull down, let's say even today I buy a better facing, but the MRT unit pull down my pricing, it actually is not such a good thing for me also, even though I got a better facing. So this is what something we want to address also .
So when we take a Commonwealth Tower, so far based on the launch till now, right, the profitability is still quite high, it's 98%. Park Esta for now still 100%. And Resale Park for now is still 100%. So basically what we want to say is actually people still willing to accept the noise level, all these things. Then in the end of the day, they won't sell. The seller will still want to. No, seller don't have super hard time to sell .
Yeah, it's not like confirm
亏钱卖 For example, today I buy Resale Park or Commonwealth Tower at 2,000 per square foot, right? I sell at 1,000, 8,000, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. So the thing is, we also have this example that we shared before, like seaside during the Bella Bay, right? Actually, seaside residences, right? There is the low 2003, but the sea facing one actually at
2007.
2007. But one of the I think the lowest per square foot during the 6 months was 2001. I don't know what's the facing lah. But in the end of the day, because of this 2007, there is a lot of transaction at there at 2003.
Yeah, you pull up the 2001.
Then 2003, then there's 2004, 2005, 2006. Because once the sea view got 2007, they transacted, right? So resale buyer will start to think that, we need 25, 24 to get asset. This is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
So definitely when you are buying through the USP, right, like Bella Bay, all this, like the sea view, right?
Sea view, yeah.
People will pay the premium.
Right.
So
this
here,
is the USP that we always look at. Like, for example, that one sea view. But the sea view don't have so-called cons. For this one, it's beside MRT.
got noise.
Got noise. That's the thing. That's why it's a bit, we're not analysing like Bella Bay. Yeah. It's a USP, but it's also got cons to it.
Correct. Because I think, because we do resale, we serve buyers. Noise is always a concern also.
It's a big thing actually.
No, as a resale buyer, we serve, every buyer wants to have a perfect home.
I mean, it's understandable because if you are going to like stay at somewhere, right, definitely you want peace and quiet. You want to, after a long day at work, you come back home and keep hearing the ding ding. So, you want peace and quiet all that. But at the same time, you want convenience.
Yeah. That's the perfect home, right? So, but we always say, when you have the perfect home, right, got one thing not perfect, the price.
So you want quiet, you have to go a bit more ulu, so-called like maybe more greenery area, all these things. Yeah. So,
then you don't want, so you want convenient, you buy right next to MRT, but you cannot buy the not so good facing or the MRT facing. You buy the pool facing, then you pay more.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to pay more, then you start to think, should I pay more? You know I think. So now we go to the next concern, like should we pay more for the view? That is a very good view, So we use same thing Caspian, right? Then I share Caspian. They have they saw a beautiful view, before then that lakefront lodge, then the view changed. So you must understand whether is it now our lake view, is it temporary or permanent? Very important.
Yeah.
So why I bring out this map again? You see Kena block Now you are Lucerne, you are here. You can see this one, right? Caspian Grand, this is
now
it's
a show flat.
It's just an empty land.
Yeah.
There's a chance this land can sell. It sell, can we become a next lakefront story already? The next Caspian Kena block again.
Yeah.
So your view
is a risk. I cannot say 100% forever.
Yeah. And this one, this lakefront residents never give chance. They totally block the block 60.
When they build, they never at least put one parallel or whatever.
It's one of the key risks because I think, I don't want to confirm, but most likely the premium will be a lot here. Because Lakeview definitely, as a developer, you also put a premium. Let's be real. Now we have a site plan. I think this is, I don't want to confirm this, but this mostly is, I just take it as a draft site plan that we have for Lucerne. Same, you see here, this will be all the premium. But this premium, you must understand this site, we don't know how the developer is going to build.
Yeah, whether there's going to be a development.
If the land is sold, how the developer is going to build. Because if you are buying based on the lake view, right, you got to be cautious. Because you pay a premium that is not permanent. So where is permanent? For us, this one facing the school. School is harder to shift.
Yeah.
Then I think the distance is not bad. Then if you want a good like a white right, just cut across the
school. School usually about 4-5 levels. Usually
So you buy about 8, 9, 8. You can cut across the school. Then you have a very good view. Just that you might have some noise, but I think it's a quite quiet.
Yeah, because this route only serve the Caspian and the
lakefront. Not so heavy.
Not so heavy traffic.
For me when I drive to go viewing. So this is, then of course the cheapest might be this part the MRT. You must be the one. This one, that's why on the day itself you must see how the developer price. So if you ask me, right, this one might be the value buy sweet spot. Because pool view maybe is the premium. And this one will be the premium also. I use red color. Premium. Then this one might be the sweet spot. If
because sometimes they will say the school, in front, all these things.
Then we see how the developer price. Because in the end of the day, the price itself is more important. Which comes to the third that we very stress.
Yeah, because we keep talking about the price. We keep talking about price. Because today, buyers, when they buy, they look at what?
And the price, we say it's not now. Like you enter into Lucerne.
Future, right?
We're talking about who will buy from you. This is the most important because this is called exit strategy.
Correct.
If you cannot see an exit strategy, you must be cautious. Because you are gambling
Correct. I mean, of course, as a buyer, let's say we look at Lucerne Grand, right? We keep thinking, MRT, Lakeside, everything have. But we never go and understand who are our future buyers. Even though it could be the best location, I think that would be also right? If we don't understand this thing. So we're going to actually go into this.
So typical journey of a buyer, right, for HDB upgrader is always mostly upgrade to an OCR condo. What is OCR? OCR means the
outskirt. I mean, not say outskirt, but like outside region.
Outside region.
Yeah, so for example, like Tampines, maybe HDB owners in Tampines, they might want to move to a condo, they want to upgrade to a condo in Tampines or maybe in the east side. Then those that maybe in the west, they want to upgrade to something in the west if possible.
This is the usual journey because the main thing is the upgrading journey, right, is more palatable.
Correct.
It's not like a huge jump. Like today, for example, you stay at Jurong, that's how you move into Orchard. People think you will be crazy. It's achievable, but in terms of the affordability gap, based on, because what we do, right, usually when we sell and buy, right, we try not to touch your savings.
Yeah.
We use the house itself to furnish your next purchase with reserve fund.
Correct.
This is something we do for planning.
Yeah, and I think overall, especially if you are families, right, our lifestyle is in the area already. For example, the kids' school, our parents are staying in the same area. A bit difficult for us to move out from, let's say, every family, everything all in Tampines. Very hard for us to suddenly go Jurong. And then we change school and everything is very hard. Yeah, so this one again have to see the profile.
That's why now we will ask ourselves, can Jurong HDB upgrader? Because usually we thought upgraders is the main big bulk of people who buy resale.
Yeah, whenever we see OCR condos especially, we will always look, surrounding got HDB or not. Then we will always, most people will say, this will be our
future
buyers. Alright, so that is something, but we today want to also see, now we know these are future buyers, but the key question is, can they afford? That one, I think the most important. Yeah,
so you see, I think the key thing is we have a bit of concern here. Maybe the average proceed. For example, people who buy, the HDB value is about 600 plus. So typical cash proceed plus CPF may be about 504. So this is the thing. But today, if we buy Lucerne 3-bedroom, let's just say Lucerne Grand 3-bedroom, right, is about 2.3 million. And if you want to exit with a 300k proceed,
fair lah.
To buy a 2.6 million, right, your down payment plus a stamp duty is almost 750,000. Simple math, 750,000 minus your 500, you need to top up about 250,000.
Wow.
Own money. So this is something that is, for me, is a concern.
Correct. So because as a HDB owner, let's say you have to fork up 250,000 more from your own pocket, will you do it or not? I think it's quite difficult. And how does it affect? Let me give you another case study. Okay, today let's say we look at in the resale market, let's say we look at Punggol area. Punggol area, because in the Punggol MRT there is Water Town and then there's Treasure Trove. Treasure Trove is just
how affordability gap can help
can affect the development. Yes. Yeah, so we want to show you an example. Okay, of course, this one is integrated, one is just one street away. Actually, both are very near Punggol MRT. Okay. Overall, of course, if you look at the overall price trend, all both went up. Okay, but this is not the main thing we want to share. Okay, today, if you look at Treasure Trove, the big units, actually there is a increase.
Yeah. And the increase is about 14%,
which is not too bad. I mean, it is still bad. Okay, and in fact, if you look at the transactions itself, right, from 1,100 PSF increase up to 1,003. So this will be about 200 PSF increase, which actually is quite a good increase. But the key thing is, if you were to look at Water Town, which is actually technically better because it's integrated.
It's just beside MRT.
Yeah, it's nearer than. You go. You got a mall there. You go down, got a mall. Everything there already supposedly better. But you realize their increase only 5.23%. Yeah, which is not fantastic for something like an integrated.
No, it's still good. But maybe it's why is it happening? Why the Treasure Trove not so less appeal because no
technically
more.
Technically,
but increase growth more.
Yeah,
because if you dive deeper, it's actually the affordability gap.
Yeah, which if you look at the bigger unit, of course, Water Town only increased by 100 PSF lah.
So you see the affordability gap of the HDB there, right? if you talk about BTO price, then average selling point about 700 because now Jurong the average selling point about 600 only.
I mean, because that okay, at that time, of course, when you look at when they first, the average BTO price at that time was only 400. After that, of course, when they sell, they maybe let's say they sell 700. Okay, their proceeds are estimated after everything, after 5 years, will be about 400. So today, if they were to try and upgrade to a treasure trove, for example, let's say at 1.2 million, their down payment plus stamp duty is about 330,000. Okay, 400,000 can cover easily.
Still got savings
Still got some extra cent. Yeah, so it's like a port over, no need to top up anything.
Even you buy at a higher quantum, you still have cover.
Yeah, still cover.
Then you
want exchange.
Then at that point of time, if you compare Watertown and Treasure Trove, right,
it's 1.6 and 1.8 lah.
When you start to have top up, usually people will not upgrade because people will feel that it's not for them already.
Correct.
It's out of their budget.
Correct. So that is why we are sharing with you this, because today, if let's say you are going to in the area, the affordability is only maybe about 1.2 to 1.4, but you next time want to sell 1.8 1.6, you will face this issue.
So technically, HDB upgrader will find an issue buying a 3-bedroom in Lucerne if it's based on this calculation. I think this is something for me is important because this will affect my exit.
Correct.
This we call exit strategy.
Yes.
Then it means our HDB pool, we cannot depend on HDB pool.
Correct.
So one thing we have to ask ourselves,
then Lucerne how?
Lucerne how?
Don't buy
no future upgraders dig deeper in a way. Because in a way Jurong, right, actually there are few launches in Jurong. All did in the end of the day, if you know,
all did quite well.
Like for example, Jayden. If you know Jayden, the Jurong East one, right? You can see the main thing is the private is people from private buy here
more than HDB upgraders.
For Jayden and they can accept 3.9 million the highest. The highest 3.9 million this is something that is like those private owners are able to accept this type of quantum.
Correct. And if you bear in mind the average PSA of 2004 that one is that time this is considered very very high for that time, which is in 2023 2004 for a lot of people are also thinking, wow, it's really very high.
Correct. Then if you really of course you might say, hey, Jayden, Jurong East
MRT
the hub, all this. Okay, so we also use Lake Garden residence. It's now almost sold. Almost 50% also people buy. It's also private. So that means that technically their private are shifting towards this area. But why they come to this area? People say Westside Ulu, all these things.
Correct.
But now it's private down to this Jurong.
Why would you do that?
Why they do that? Based on what we see is there are people buying into the Jurong transformation. The story of Jurong transformation. Like people from Bukit Batok, Choa Chu Kang area, maybe they sell their condo there. They come to Jurong East to become because next time Jurong will be a new hub, business hub.
Buy into the potential.
So they are banging in on this side. Of course, in terms of education hub, right? Jurong, Clementi, NT, all these things, all here already. So people, that's why that might be the one key thing they are shifting. And when the price is still at the price point that can.
So it's high for the HDB upgraders, but bear in mind a lot of the people coming in could be private owners.
So Lucerne maybe caters to those upgraders also.
Yes,
correct. So now like I say, why people are coming, right? One key thing is maybe is the East Coast story also. Why East Coast? Why East Coast is so asked the 10 our generation, right? The 30, 40s, even 50s, but not the 20 plus. Because we grew up where all the activity is in East Coast. Like for me, I told Dylan, last time got Fantasy Island. You don't know what's Fantasy Island. So those who know Fantasy Island means you're old already, my age one. Then go chalet, cycling, barbecue, beach. Then a lot of things to play there, like arcade, all these things.
A lot of memories there.
So people go there for entertainment. And then that's where it's like, there's a story.
Like it's like they will don't mind there because to them it's a very nice place.
Yes.
We have fond memories and we grew up there. So if we have a chance to go to East Coast, why not?
That's why East Coast like D15 is always popular.
Very popular.
Like you ask me if I want to go D15 to stay, I might consider if I can afford this kind of thing. Because it's like you tell people want to go Katong, all these things, they like one. There's
a draw to it.
Yeah. So now it's whether the Jurong Lake Garden, right, can become the west of East Coast already. This is a question we don't know. We know that there is a lot of activity there. If you have time, you go to the Jurong Lake Garden, you take a walk. There's a lot of people.
Correct. Even the Mooncake Festival, right? That area, people will come from all places to just attend the Mooncake Festival because it's
the Chinese Garden one.
Chinese Garden one. Yeah, the one all the sculptures and everything. It's a very, there's a lot of activities going on. So eventually, maybe I don't know when.
But they will want to break away the Chinese or the Mooncake Festival thing because that one is also my era one.
Oh, is it?
Everyone knows it. So main thing is they want to create activity there. If you go and you can see a lot of things happening, but it's still in progress. Not there yet. Just that whether it become or not, we're not sure. But this is part of the transformation.
Correct.
Rental, we don't need to say
We don't need to talk too much about rental because firstly, beside MRT, definitely any condo beside MRT, rental will definitely be stronger. Will be strong one. This is logical, right? And then of course we have the existing, the Lake District, the Innovation District will have a lot of professionals coming in, a lot of jobs and everything. Then of course Jurong East is a hub right? There's a lot of things there, malls, everything all have.
So tenant pool, you also have
even
students,
schools,
they come here to study for masters. We have tenants that come to rent for units at Lake.
Yeah, because Clementi got even NTU is in the west side. So definitely in terms of the education is there. So rental, no issue
It's strong. So where is the sweet spot? So this one is a bit special. Our sweet spot, that time we always talk about USP, all these things. So this one, the USP might not be, of course MRT is a USP, the MRT, but right now we see that the facing is plays a part in this location because of the MRT noise.
Correct.
Then of course your facing, your lake is the premium. We will not go for it's supposed to be a USP, but we scared later kena block. So for me is we find the second distance facing, which I feel is the school the school facing. But now if like that, then the school facing maybe also become expensive.
Maybe.
Or maybe it become a lot of people want to try to. Competition will be high for the school.
Maybe I don't know Maybe the higher floors on the school facing one maybe the developer will load a premium.
Because the school facing one still maybe from the side view can see
the lower floor. I think one won't be so expensive
Yes, because the price we remember the 5.5%.
That one is the key number that we really do bear in mind
Exit this one maybe the HDB buyers may not be your buyer. You must bank on the upgrade.
Bank on from other areas the chance based on history
Definitely. So this is thing. So who should buy? Actually by right, you all should know Lucerne Grand, this area is for everyone.
Officers have
everything also have. So main thing is just the price. So today we buy property because it's not because you should ask, should I buy or not? It's always the right price, with the right exit. Because later, unless you're gonna buy and stay there for the rest of your life, this one I don't know. Because a lot of people always have this mindset, but at the end of the day, life will change. Hard to say. Too long. You plan 20 years, I think too long. 5 to 10 years.
At the end of the day, whether we really plan to move or not, right? And I think everybody also wants to buy into something where there is a potential, where it's also safe also. We don't want to end up, even though we want to buy for long term, but when we want to sell, we realize, the demand really not so strong, or nobody can buy my unit, that kind of thing.
For me, it's more on really the right unit with the right price and right exit. It's not about how say
It's not whether this is good or not. This is good.
This is good.
This is the hype is there. There's a reason why there are certain projects that is no need to talk so much on. The hype is there already.
Correct, but whether the developer launch at the right price also one of the causes. If today they start, if they can go below 2004, will be very attractive. But if you start from 2006, based on today now market sentiment or OCR, because it's right next to MRT,
now OCR prices are honestly
because you see Tengah, Tengah starting about 198 now, but of course average of 2001 about there already. So today I have a better location with a good school, all these things, developer can price higher
Correct. And the key thing also we also got a shock when the Jayden launched that kind of prices. When Jayden launched, everyone was a bit shocked and people still accept. So that, I don't know what will happen for Lucerne. Will it be like Jayden also, where even though it's a high price, people still rush in?
Because
We do not
people
know.
in the West will like the West lah.
Yeah, I mean,
But at that point of time, of course, door perspective, I also a bit concerned. That's why we should go ahead lah.
Yeah,
at the point of time when the reach our turn, I think the price is a bit. I can
2008
I mean got 2005, 2006.
I mean, the highest 2008 lah.
Yeah, for me, it's not my strategy to buy to be the top lah of the food chain lah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong also.
Yeah.
We never know. The prices could go even higher. I mean, nobody can imagine OCR prices now are above 2,000. This is something that we have not imagined. But today is normal.
Correct. So one thing is after we have gone through our videos that we did some like understanding land cost, all these things, right? To make smarter buy. We are always following this fundamental. But all this, why are we following this fundamental? Is today we have to buy something with an exit in mind. Even for own stay.
Correct.
If the product is overpriced, the concern is the whole development is overpriced. What will happen? Like Watertown, Watertown, the exit will be tougher. Then when exit tough, right, your growth will not be there, right? Then you are not so good lah.
Yeah, like what we show in Watertown, actually during that period, actually they only increased by 100 plus PSM, which for Watertown integrated, I don't think it's something that the owners also want, right? Yeah. So, but why? Because again, like what you mentioned, the price plays an important factor. Yeah. So not saying that we can find something very very cheap. We need to have understand a lot of factors in mind.
Different area, different factor.
Yeah.
Like this one Lucerne Grand, once I research, it's the MRT noise, MRT noise.
Yeah, MRT only lah, nothing much.
If it's so in depth, I mean, it won't be like we don't even talk about it. We just talk about because a lot of people will say that this is the right entry price, but right entry price can say a lot of different things. Like for example, right entry price in Tengah is different from Lakeside. From Dairy Fair is different from there. This one is. Then you see a right entry price now. I feel that the right entry price for this one is what is the right entry price for the quiet facing.
Yeah.
Not the MRT. MRT is relaxed. It's a bit.
MRT like, should be
the cheapest. Then it's not always buying the cheapest.
Because no matter you buy, if you really your noise very thorough, it's very hard. Yeah.
I only fear is the vibration, not the noise. Because noise you cover maybe the window, balcony, all these things still can cover. It's the vibration that's my concern.
Yeah.
So once again, we have come to the end of the video.
Yeah, so today, of course, if you are looking at Lucerne Grand or even any new launch in general, and you want some advice, you want us to maybe go through and let you know what are certain framework that we look through, like all the in-depth things that we spoke about, right? And then based on your case, feel free to contact us. I'm Dylan.
I'm Matthew.
We see you soon.